Good evening, America, and our international friends who are watching the show. This is Dare to Disagree, and right now we're missing a couple people. They're going to be showing up intermittently, late as usual. I apologize. That's kind of one of the prices you have to pay when you staff your show with minorities. Okay, that shit happens. Okay, but this is Alone in the Dark out here in beautiful fucking Colorado. This place is gorgeous right now.
So chemical.
And we want to talk about, well, our first topic at least is Mr. Peterson and him bringing back whipping people and shit. I thought we got rid of that shit, but apparently he's fucking bringing that shit back for good. you wanna start on this, Slow Chemical, or should I?
You can.
All right. So hopefully, when I first heard about it, I kind of thought the same thing I think a lot of people did, which is like, maybe this is kind of trash the fucking NFL players month right now. It kind of came at a weird time when a bunch of other fuckers are getting into trouble. All of a sudden, here's this guy in trouble, And especially in, custody arrangements like his, and you got freaking a baby's mama who maybe wants a little money. It's sometimes a little questionable. You hate to be a little skeptical when it's something about child abuse, but you kind of have to when there's that much money trading hands. But once those pictures came out, to me at least, that made it just seem pretty fucking ridiculous on his end. Okay, like, I just can't believe risking that much money to freaking beat this goddamn kid. You know what I mean? That's kind of my point to it. Like, that was definitely overboard. Now, I know me, probably a number of the people on the show, probably the majority of the people on the show, probably got our ass kicked when we were kids worse than that little kid did. But I don't know if that makes it right. And we definitely know that shit's illegal in this fucking day and age, You can't be doing that shit. So that's kind of my point. I just think it's kind of ridiculous that somebody with that much to lose would do something like that,
I did some more research on it, and apparently the baby mother that I thought she leaked the photos, but apparently she came out on Twitter today and said that the cops leaked the photos, and then the police station said that they don't know who leaked them and that they weren't supposed to be leaked. Apparently, she wanted it to remain private. So apparently she's like outraged about it and even consulting a lawyer to sue the police department. So maybe she didn't release them. Maybe it was supposed to be a private thing, and next thing you know, it just got out of control. But I get what you're saying. I just think nowadays, like, why is everybody so shocked that this happened? I still have scars on my legs from when my kids got beat, when I got beat when I was a kid. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I could get that point, that's kind of a touchy fucking subject. Like, I remember in Tennessee, they were talking about, like, in a lot of the schools there, teachers or the school system was allowed to freaking use corporal punishment. They were allowed to fucking beat your kid at school. I don't know how many still did it. It was on the book saying that they could. It never happened in my kid's school that I know of, But that brought up a whole big thing of, hey, who should be allowed to beat their kid? And even the parents, how much are they allowed to do it, Because it's definitely changed. Like, you hear about that shit back in, like, our grandparents' day and shit like that. Beating the shit out of your kid was like a fucking American pastime. That was as American as apple pie, And it's slowly changing. I think it was kind of changing with people taking that shit too far, and every time somebody took it too far, they brought it fucking back down again. Okay, you can't fucking use a goddamn, what do you call it? Use an instrument to beat your kid anymore. You just gotta use your hand. And then you can't leave marks on the kid. You can hit your kid, but you can't do it hard enough to leave marks. Keep bringing it down, and I wonder where it's going to end up. Like, how long until maybe they're saying you can't hit your kid at all, which me personally I have a hard time arguing about, because anybody else in the world hitting somebody is wrong. No matter what, no matter you can't. There's no justification unless they're attacking you, unless you're physically threatened. You can't just hit somebody to fucking punish them or change their mind or shit like that, unless it's your kid. So it's kind of a weird, weird fucking demographic. The only person you're allowed to fucking hit is your kid. You can't hit your wife. You can't hit your fucking coworkers. Everybody else, you got to find a more mature way to fucking deal with it. Unless it's your fucking kid, then you could just go ahead and smack them the fuck around and then. So that's the weird part for me. Like I'm not gonna sit here and just argue and say, hey, nobody should be allowed to beat their kids. But if somebody makes that argument, I could kind of see where they're coming from, considering that's the only fucking people you're allowed to. That's the only people you're legally allowed to beat without being, threatened, physically fucking threatened. You kids are the only ones, and that just seems like a pretty weird way to have things set up. You know what I mean? That's my opinion on it. On beating kids in general. What do you think? Puppet Master?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Shit. Man, first off, be forewarned, I've been at the bar for an hour and a half, so just be careful. Anyway, so check it out. You know my past. My dad was a raging alcoholic and fucked shit up for years.
Yeah. From
8 to 13. This guy beat the shit out of everybody in my family. My mom, me, my 3 sisters. So, I have a soft spot for this. This is fucked up. It wasn't until 13 years old where I started whooping his ass instead because that shit it got old. So, no, I don't agree with it at all, Do I spank my kids? Yeah, I spank my kids. But do I beat my kids? There's a fine line between beating your kids and spanking your kids. You just got to make sure you're walking on the right side.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it kind of matches hazing in the fucking military too, because it was always a Marine Corps tradition to fuck with your boots, but people thought you would fuck with your boots, and then some idiot would take it too damn far, and then everybody would get, okay, you guys can't do this shit anymore, anything like that,
When it's no longer about discipline is when it's a problem.
Yeah, when it's just a fucking game now.
Or you just lose your temper, and it becomes your release instead of an actual disciplinary action. That's where it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody said that you should never hit your kids out of anger.
Absolutely not.
If you're mad, that's not a time to hit your kids. Fucking calm down, this and that, then come back and think about a punishment.
But even then, that's a little weird. Calm down, disappear. The kid did something wrong 2 hours ago. Now you come back. Now you're gonna beat your kid. That seems that seems a little fucked up too.
Almost sadistic, You remember that shit you did a couple hours
ago, and you have no idea why it happened. Why I'm about to whoop that ass, but I'm gonna whoop that ass. Don't do that again.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's I'm not gonna sit and say, hey, nobody should be allowed to beat their kids. I could see the fucking argument against them, And now, I mean, I've spanked my kids. That's happened before, but now I try and usually figure out different ways to do it, just because I think there could be a better way, Now they're in trouble. They're either being grounded. They're freaking they're doing push-ups, sitting on the wall, shit like that. I would rather them doing that, something that's actually benefited them getting strong. Like, my son could sit on the wall for like fucking 45 minutes before it bothers him now. Smacking them around doesn't really fucking, that doesn't really benefit them at all,
No.
What do you think, Calhoun? You get your mic on, man? I haven't been able to hear you yet.
Yeah, I really don't think it's I think it's another instance of something being taken completely out of hand, out of context. I think a lot of people are just up in arms and outraged over this because it's another situation where the NFL is where it seems as if the NFL is taking it too lightly. When Charles Barkley on Sunday, they had NFL Sunday, the shit before CBS shows whatever game they
Freedom
gonna show
Town.
for that Sunday. Yeah, that shit. Charles Barkley talked about his past and his history with being beaten, and how it was a tradition amongst Southern parents and whatnot. It's not really a tradition amongst Southern parents. It's a tradition amongst the African American community. I mean, you might have other ethnic groups or whatnot that does it, but I do know that I was also a victim of getting my ass whipped when I was a child. If I did something wrong, I mean, I got my ass whipped, and that was a defining discipline, a defining method of discipline that told my ass, I better not fuck up, because if I do, I'm gonna get my ass whipped. I mean, I've heard plenty of stories where people got their asses whipped by extension cords, slippers, switches. Shit, I mean, I even hear some kids getting punched in the chest. Now, that's some shit I hear that's going too far. If you get punched in your chest and you're a kid and your parent punch you on the chest, god damn. I never had that happen to me. But shit, that sounds like something that's being taken too far right there. But I mean, on Sunday.
That's Cal talking, right?
Calhoun.
All right, hey, dude, I was a victim of that bullshit. That shit sucks.
What, getting punched in the chest?
Oh, dude, you have no idea what I went through as a kid, brother.
You need some reparations, my man. Like, damn.
Hey, and I was gonna get it till that motherfucker got hit by a car and fucking went through the windshield and had amnesia, had no idea what he did in his past. None. Because trust me, Alan knows I was gonna get mine.
Yeah.
I was. I almost skipped out on the military to go take care of that shit. Yeah.
So what? You got hit by a car?
Yeah, my dad fucking went through a windshield, had like 3 brain surgeries.
Oh.
Fucking complete amnesia. Had no idea. Had no idea that that's the man he was.
Wow.
If anybody needed a fucking reset, that's the person right there, though,
Yeah, right.
Hey, check it out. Hey, I'm gonna bounce off for a second so I can jump on the computer instead of my phone. All right?
Yeah, okay.
But so yeah, to conclude my point, I mean, like on Sunday when they were you had some of the commentators saying that I don't think there's ever a situation where you should beat your kids ever. You shouldn't be beating your kids. Beating your kids is just wrong. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I mean, they joke about it on TV. They joke about it in stand-up comedy sketches. And now is the time y'all want to bring this shit up? I mean, and not to mention, they did it in Catholic schools. They had corporal punishment in Catholic schools. They had the fucking paddles, different variations. Some had drilled holes in them. Some had spikes around them. They spanked the shit out of kids in school. What the hell am I missing?
I think that's still shit that goes on. Like, I remember hearing something about some kid getting paddled not that long ago. Maybe a year.
I mean, then you got some kids, they having sex with their teachers. So, the teachers is spanking them and whatnot if they into that fetish type shit. So, I mean.
I mean, it's a weird set. Like, I could see the point, and I've talked about it before. Walking down the street and just, looking at random people, and imagine them having full control of your life. These motherfuckers decide when you eat, when you sleep, where you go to school at, and how you get eat. That's a kind of a scary prospect for a lot of these stupid motherfuckers walking down the street, So, while I think there's a whole bunch of responsible parents who could use hitting their kids as, a corrective punishment, it's what it's meant for. To address, like a lot of times, like something that you save your kid from being hurt. Like your kid's about to run in the street, you grab him and fucking smack him across the head. That's kind of the thing of you were about to get really fucking hurt. You're about to get hit by a car and fucking hurt. Here's a little bit of pain for you to get that idea, okay, running to the street hurts, without having to get hit by a fucking car.
Yeah.
So, I know there's a whole lot of responsible parents. It just is kind of scary looking at how stupid the average fucking person is, and then imagining these people get to pick how their kids get beat, That's kind of a scary prospect for me. So I could see while I'm not making the argument people should stop, we should outlaw fucking beating kids, I just think I could understand somebody making that argument. I can't really argue with somebody coming up and saying, man, it's fucked up. Why should kids be the only people in the world who it's legally allowed to beat the shit out of? It used to be okay to beat your wife back in the day. People look back at that in horror. Is it going to be like 100, 150 years from now that we're like, man, those fucking idiots of our ancestors were beating the shit out of their kids, man. Luckily, we're a little bit smarter than them. We've outlawed that shit. Somebody beats their kids, they end up in fucking jail or some shit.
Yeah. I think you got a good method on your hands for making your kids do push-ups and shit like that. That seems like a good alternative.
Yeah, we do the same thing here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna punish the shit out of my kids, man. They're gonna do like 1,000 push-ups and shit.
Hey, we gonna have to show you what a wall sit is. That shit's crazy. That shit fucking hurts.
I know what a wall sit is. Yeah. I might be fat, but I've been through my.
Put a 10-pound weight on the top of their thighs when they do it.
Oh shit.
I told them they're going to be smart or they're going to be strong, but they're not going to be neither. I'm going to get one of these fucking things out.
Hey, check it out. No matter what, AP fucking he used a switch to whoop that kid's ass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got beat with a belt. I know some of y'all did too. But that motherfucker went overboard. That shit was we all agree that shit was wrong, right?
But I mean, nobody got on Joe Jackson's ass. That motherfucker had a long history of violence against his kids. All what? It was a whole army of them Jacksons. How many of them was it? They was in the public spotlight, and nobody had salvation for them damn kids. God damn. Think that boy white.
I didn't even know you, Calhoun. You started to make me like you.
I mean, look at Jackson. Michael Jackson, they beat that boy white, man. Shit.
Well, AP just did too, man. You saw that. That kid was almost Michael Jackson's color by the time he was done.
Yeah, shit, man.
Yeah, and look how fucking those kids ended up, Maybe that's another point of beating the kids. A lot of people just joke about that shit now, but man, they did fuck those kids up.
Yeah, I didn't even realize how bad the extent of was with Adrian Peterson until so I heard about what happened, and then like a couple days later I saw an article and they said they had the pictures, and I looked and I was like, that boy looked like grilled chicken, had all kinds of lines going up and down his legs. I'm like, damn, AP fucked him up.
Yeah, like plantation style. That's fucked up.
Exactly.
In Adrian's defense, though, ain't nobody said what the kid did. Maybe the kid really fucked up.
True, that motherfucker might take a gun to.
Yeah, exactly. Found a fucking gun in his backpack. He's going to school or some shit. Maybe that kid deserved it.
I ain't touching that shit.
Punishment for some shit like that.
Like people talk about, what was that? Susan Smith or something like that. Everybody was horrified about that, but then one comedian's like, maybe they were bad kids. Didn't eat their vegetables, wouldn't go to bed on time.
Hey man, Bernie Mac kicked the shit out of his kids. He talked about that shit on stage. Everybody laughed at his ass. And they wasn't even his kids. They was his nieces and nephews at that. That's the crazy shit about it.
Being other people's kids. I can see that, man. That's one thing that I can't fucking stand. Like, my kids are, we always joke around about how freaking difficult my daughter was, But in all honesty, whenever we have other kids around, my kids are usually more well-behaved than all of them, which makes me can't stand other fucking people's kids, man.
Oh, my God. What?
I'm not going to punish them. That ain't my fucking job. I'm not getting into that fucking mess, But then you get these kids in here yelling, screaming, fucking throwing fits, freaking. That shit just makes me fucking panic,
Yeah.
That's probably one thing that would change my mind against, if they try to outlaw beating kids, like going to a Walmart and seeing fucking some kid screaming and hitting on his mama, because that's the one I'm thinking. man, lady, beat that fucking kid, please. I want to see that shit.
You saw that episode of Boondocks where the granddad walked in and he saw the kid fucking up, and granddad passed her the belt. She started whipping his ass in the grocery store.
Exactly. He's teaching her too.
Yeah, Ace Chemical.
Yeah.
Did you see that episode of Boondocks where granddad walked into the grocery store and saw the kid fucking up with his mother? Granddad passed her the belt.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's passing the discipline torch right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
I can't fucking stand that shit. You see some kid flipping the fuck out or something like that. Especially, the worst thing, too, is you see some kid flipping the fuck out, and then he gets what he wanted. And he gets sitting there like, no, bitch. No, that's not, you just taught that kid to flip out, you know? He flipped out, you reward him like training a dog, you know? They do something, you give him a treat, that way they get positive reinforcement. That's exactly what you did. He flipped out, he got his fucking candy bar. You fucking reinforce that behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Alan. Shell took my youngest Annie to this Mamma Me class for the first time yesterday, and every other kid in that place was the rudest little punk bitch she's ever been around. You know me and my kids. Kids aren't disrespectful. I will not raise them to be that way. I don't care who they're talking to. They will act right. They will talk right. These kids were interrupting the teacher, talking shit, and Annie jumped up in Shell's arms and wouldn't move the entire 2 hours. After that, Shell was like, I'm never taking her back there again. And that brings me to the point that it's not just the kids acting a fool. These parents literally, and all the parents have to be there for this entire class. So the parents let their kids go all the way to a certain point where it's too far, and then they whoop their ass. And that's part of the problem, is that the interactive parenting is not happening even on the basic level, and that's why kids are getting their ass whooped in the long run, because parents finally have their fill of bullshit.
Exactly, man. And it's kind of one of those things like, I remember reading some parenting book, I think it was while we were in Iraq, my wife was pregnant, and one thing that stuck with me that the guy said is, if you tell your kid you're going to do something, do it. You know, no matter how fucking ridiculous. If you fuck up again, I'm throwing your TV out the window. If they do it, you better throw that fucking TV out the window. Otherwise, they're just not going to fucking learn. You know, they got to be able to learn. Once you cross this point, this is exactly what's going to happen. You know, you're not going to. There's going to be no arguing your way out of it. None of that shit. You do something this wrong, you're in fucking trouble. And that's how they get better. You know, people talk about, my kid's good, but when we're out, you know, he knows I can't punish him, so then he fucking gets it. Okay, well, you fucked up then. You fucked up beforehand to get to that spot where they're throwing a fit in public, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, listen, maybe we should do a fucking Dare to Disagree instruction on how to properly beat your kids. I'm just saying that.
Featuring OJ.
I think I'll take my youngest as the dummy.
Use that shit as a punishment.
Honey, Daddy doesn't mean anything.
It's gonna be on our episode on Wednesdays. Calm the fuck down. But yeah, I'm getting kind of tired of, like we talked about, what's his name, Ray Rice. I think it's ridiculous that people are demanding a crazy fucking punishment for something he did. Like with Ray Rice, everybody's like, he should never fucking play again. No, I mean, even me who think he fucking did wrong, I think him being out for a year and then doing something to show he's doing, like, whatever, I went to a fucking anger management class and shit, like, you know, shit celebrities do to show that they're working to get better. That would be fine for me. I don't think this man needs to lose his fucking career forever for something he did in the heat of the moment while drunk in fucking Vegas, you know? I agreed he'd need to be punished, but lose his fucking career for the rest of his life? I can't justify that, you know?
I agree with you, man. I think, honestly, it's at this point, all the fallout is the NFL's fault because they did not handle it properly at the beginning. Had they handled it, gave him his 1-year suspension, fucking done their business, fucking, you know what? That video came out and everybody being like, oh, he got suspended for a year. He deserved that shit. And that'd have been the end of it.
Yeah.
But they only get 2 games. Everybody's like, 2 games, goddammit. After that video, he knocked that bitch clean out. But you know what? Now they got to do damage control because it ain't about fucking what's right and wrong at that point. It's about business. And that's what they care about.
Yeah. I think the whole fiasco around it, the main reason why they had to do damage control is because, just like you said, they slipped up on punishment. I always thought that a sizable punishment would have been 8 games with 10 games worth of financial suspension, meaning he wouldn't get paid for 10 games. And all of that money would have been sent to like the House of Ruth or some domestic violence organization, so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
But because Roger Goodell slipped up and only gave Ray Rice 2 games, which at first I was fine with, like fuck it. I mean, his wife forgave him. They forgave each other. Fuck it, let it be. But once everybody saw the video, and they correlated that video with Ray Rice only getting 2 games, that's when everybody went batshit. And people they went they got a little too angry. I mean, it's okay to get angry, especially for women. I can understand them getting angry, but they got a little too angry, mainly because they saw the video. But because they got to that level of anger, they started asking for a little bit too much. That's just that was just too outlandish. They wanted Ray Rice fired and just not play football ever again. And they weren't thinking about his wife at all. And then when she came out and started supporting Ray Rice, everybody was against her all of a sudden. So it was just like, oh, we need to look out for the victim. And then when the victim was actually holding up for Ray Rice, it was like, oh, fuck the victim. She don't know what she's talking about. And I'm just like, that's kind of petty, especially considering that people always talk about, well, she's under the battered victim syndrome, where they think that it'll never happen again. I mean, we don't know. It might never happen again. It might happen again. But considering that this is Ray Rice's first time, this is his first offense ever. Considering, if you go off the accounts of New Jersey and giving him a lenient sentence because this is his first run-in with the law, I was ready to give him a pass. I mean, sure, what he did was wrong, but at the end of the day, if New Jersey and the state, the state of New Jersey felt that Ray Rice would have benefited from the diversionary program that they put him in, why not go that route?
Yeah.
People were more outraged at the punishment that the NFL gave him as opposed to the actual punishment the law gave him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which is more ridiculous. It's actually the law's job to deal out a punishment. Not really the NFL.
Understand this. This is the first time he's been caught, got in trouble for this.
Okay, yeah.
I witnessed this.
But like I said,
15 years with my mom and dad. There's no way he went from 0 to 60 and knocked that bitch out, and this is the first time. Never. That would never happen. And then she's okay with it.
How do you know that? How do you know that? You're going off of speculation, but you're not going off of facts.
My mom getting her ass knocked out the first day, man. There's other stuff.
I ain't really hear you going there. What you say?
I said my mom got beat for 15 years, and it didn't start with her getting knocked the fuck out on the first day. You know what I'm saying? There's something else happened. It escalated. There's been several occasions. It's never been in public. He lost his shit, and he was drunk in public and beat her ass in public. And that is why he's in trouble. Had he done the privacy of his own home, hey, you know what? He'd still be playing football, and nobody would be none the wiser.
Yeah. Shit, I remember when my mom was getting beat back in, this shit's got to be the late 80s, early 90s. What they would do is just, even when he got caught, take him, put him in a drunk tank for the night, and then send him back home. It Yeah, I mean, I don't think, for the most of the time, never even went before a judge. Cops would come, ask my mom what the fuck she did. What'd you do to piss him off? Put him in a drunk tank, send him back home. So it's definitely a different world right now where we're expecting somebody to lose his fucking career for his entire life.
I don't think he should be. I think he should be reinstated next year. I really do.
Yeah,
But
and really, he hasn't ever, as far as I know, he's never been like, hey guys, you guys are fucking me here, I didn't do anything wrong. It seems like he's taken accountability for it.
well, he has the video of it. He knocked her out, dragged her out of the. Actually, when he hit her, he probably went through that look, that thought in his head, like, man, I done fucked up. I better own this shit or hide the body. And that's what happened.
You said hide the
Now he's caught, so he can't hide the body, so he's got to own up to it. It's on video. There's no hide that shit. That's why he's owning up to it.
Yeah.
I got fucked my ass. He can't say that.
I don't know. Like when he hit her, I think he just went through he went through all the shock. Like, oh shit, like she is just out the fuck out right here in front of me. And then when the elevator door opened, I mean, just like the AP report said though, because the AP they said that they had a clear version of the video with audio. So like, yeah, he drug her body out of the elevator, but also the dude that was right there asked Ray Rice if she was drunk. And after that, he said, no police. Not Ray Rice, the dude that was standing right there that confronted Ray Rice first. He asked Ray Rice if, do you not want me to call the police? And Ray Rice didn't say anything. So, I mean, like, that's the whole reason why I'm giving Ray Rice the benefit of the doubt. Because I'm just like, you see what he's done in his whole 7-year career with the NFL, everything that he's done in the community and whatnot, so on and so forth. And he's never showed once this type of, attitude as if, like, he beats his wife when he gets home. Now, like I said, I mean, y'all have your case studies. Y'all have played first-person perspective to domestic abuse. Okay. But on my end, I've never seen domestic abuse before. And I'm the type of person that just doesn't go off of speculation. So, I mean, like I said, with this case, this being his first case, and if indeed he has had a track record of beating his wife before, this is only the first case we've heard of. And I'm quite sure that if he does beat his wife on a regular, it will show up again. And when it does show up again, that's when you guys can ridicule the fuck out of him. That's when you can, burn him at the stake. You can tie him up and take your pitchforks and burn him at the stake. Do whatever y'all wish to. But in this first instance, where he didn't try to cover it up, he didn't tell the guy not to go get the police. I mean, and not to mention that he was extremely apologetic for it. I see no reason as to why everyone should strongly convict this man.
Did I walk into Jay defending?
Hey, I'm gonna flip it on you. I'm gonna go the other direction. I'm gonna go right with you on this. Hey, check it out. They weren't married at the time. All right. There's no prior complaints. You're right. This being that they weren't married, he's dated many girls before this, and no one's come forward saying, "Hey, he whooped my ass too."
Exactly, because I was thinking, I'm like, it's been 7 months, and if he did have a track record of beating other women, reporters would have been all over it trying to figure out whether or not he's had a track record of beating any other women. But yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, Charlie.
So, you may be right. Maybe he was just drunk, flipped his shit, fucking overreacted, fucking knocked the bitch out, and that was a first-time deal. However, in personal experience, like you said, I've never seen it happen that way. My mom, even though she was a battered woman herself, worked in an abuse rape crisis shelter where women came there because they were victims of domestic violence and rape, which blows my fucking mind, but that's the truth. And, and I've never seen anyone just go from 0 to 60 in the 13 years my mom worked at that place. So
Yeah, I hear
Dude.
you. I hear you. But like at the same time, it has to start somewhere. No, I'm just
Now,
saying. I'm
not
just saying it would have to start somewhere. So I mean, like this still could just be the first instance, and it could be, the first instance of it. This could be the beginning. That's what I'm saying. It could be the beginning, but it
It
couldn't
could
be
have
the
been.
beginning.
it
It could
looks
be the instant.
Start somewhere.
it
It
looks
could be
it
the instant
looks
that made him realize that this ain't the right route to go.
dude, it looks too
If
comfortable
it
to
is
be
the
a
first
beginning.
shot, maybe this squashed it right here. You never know.
But Dave, explain to me what comfortable means. Like, what do you mean it looks comfortable? I don't understand.
Let me ask
how
you a
could-
question.
I don't understand how you could look uncomfortable hitting someone.
Let
If
me
you're gonna
ask
hit
you a
somebody,
question.
You're gonna hit somebody. That's your question.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. You're
The very
in the middle
few
of a
times, the
public
very
area,
first
right?
couple times,
You're in the middle of a public area.
there
Your
was instant
girl,
remorse with my
she
father.
makes fun of you,
It didn't look
says
like there was
some.
any remorse when Ray knocked her out because of the way he took her out of the elevator. That right there tells me, this has happened before because there was no compassion involved after.
Go ahead there, Jerry Esther.
Uh, can I? I don't know. It's like screaming over a railroad. All right, let's say you're in a public area, right? And your girl gets you all hyped up and whatever, and you haul off and hit her. Do
Alan, I
you
can see your girlfriend in the background.
I've done it.
do you A look utterly shocked, try to help her up or figure out what's wrong with her? Do you
Who was
B
that?
run away in fear because you just done something terrible, or do you C drag her by her foot?
He didn't drag her by a foot. He drug her by armpits.
Stop! Did you just switch the drag? Is that what the hook is
still
on?
in remorse,
Armpit.
man.
My apologies.
That ain't gentle.
No,
that
I'm
ain't.
correcting it, motherfucker. That's what I'm doing. I'm telling you
Right,
what
because the
I'm telling you
critical
facts.
point here,
I'm telling you the facts.
is not the drag, it's the body part.
I'm telling you the facts. That's what I'm doing. Are we not
No.
operating with facts? Are we operating with
You're
speculation?
absolutely right. I'm
We are,
100%
but
wrong.
All right,
Did he
give me that.
He drags her by her armpit.
But he didn't pick her
He
up
drags-
and carry her out.
Hold on, no.
Drag her out.
Let's go with what Jay said. He's absolutely right. He drags her by her armpit because that's naturally what human beings do. Which one of those three scenarios would you fall in, Jay?
I couldn't tell you what scenario I'm going to fall in because I've never done it before. But
Well,
if we're
I
going
can
to
tell
go
you
this route,
this.
no, let me finish this. If we're going to go this route, let's talk about what Alan was talking about for the past 2 weeks. After you hit somebody that hard, and after they fall to the ground, and Alan said this himself, the NFL is supposed to teach you that you're not supposed to touch somebody if somebody goes down that hard. The first thing that you're supposed to worry about is the neck. If he picks her up, her neck is going to be dangling over. What is he supposed to
Hey,
do?
check it out.
Pick her by the armpit? Is that what you're saying?
Wait, he's 10 times worse than scooping her up and tearing her where he needs to be. I promise you that.
But you're focusing on the wrong part of my of my explanation here, or my question here, Jay. The drag, period, was terrible. I've seen people get jumped. I've seen people. Have you seen some of those scare videos where someone scares someone and then they punch them? In none of those videos have I ever seen someone pick someone up and drag them away. They're either utterly shocked they just did that, or they're leaving. Look up all the videos online. They're either completely shocked they just did that, or they're leaving.
Because they don't know who the fuck they are. What do you mean?
Wait, are you saying that the more important you are, the less you're going to walk away from a situation where you knock someone out?
No,
Dude, if you don't know somebody and they come out of nowhere and spooks you, you're gonna try to pick the motherfucker up and try to drag him off to someplace. That's what you're telling me?
But these aren't just videos of people who don't know people. These are videos of people that know each other too. People trying to scare people they know as well as the other way around. It's not just one category. But here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. Giving, and by the way, at no point am I saying anything you're saying is wrong. At no point am I saying that. I'm just telling you that the flaw I see in your logic is in those 3 scenarios I gave you, I would be anything but the dragger. If I wake up this morning and I punch my wife, right? I can tell you this. I'm either going to be super apologetic for the next year or I'm leaving. I just fucked up. I might go to jail.
But see, let me also say something before Alan gets to his point, though. If you were to hit your wife this morning and somebody saw it, according to Alan, you, and Charles, this wouldn't have been the first time you'd done it.
Yes, but here's the point. Here's the point. They would be right to make that assessment. Until said otherwise, that's the safe route. Listen, if you see a guy like hit a child until you know better, go with the worst case scenario and prove me wrong. Because right now, faith in you has been lost. You have no right at me giving you benefits of doubt. You just hit a woman. The benefit of the doubt is gone. Well, I'd rather you prove to us that we didn't hit you, you haven't been hitting her this whole time, than the other way around. I'll always play it safe and go. It's like if you hear someone abuse the child. When you heard about the priest child molestation, nobody said, oh, maybe this is their first incident. You go with the worst case scenario because the odds are it might be. In the worst case, if that's it, we can take care of it. If not, we can fix everything else.
But see, how are you supposed to prove that it's your first time if you have people strongly convicting you of, oh, you have a track record of doing this? Just going off for speculation. How are you supposed to prove that? Please, enlighten me. Enlighten me. How are you supposed to prove that you're not a long storied history woman beater?
I'll let Alone in the Dark answer, then I'll make my point.
No, you need to answer this. You just told me that. You just said what you said I'm
gonna answer, but he's been trying to make a point the whole time we've been going back and forth. I want to hear what the point is before I jump in.
Here's where I'll go with Calhoun is, do I agree that I seriously doubt that was the first time and it's a fucking knockout punch in an elevator? Yeah, I doubt it, but I'm not going to sit here and say we need to punish this guy for shit we speculate happened that we don't have fucking proof of. We need to punish him for what we see right here. Do we assume, I mean, is it okay for us to guess, yeah, this probably isn't the first time, you don't usually go 0 to knocking your fucking wife out in an elevator? I'm going to agree with that. I'm willing, if I had to bet on it, I would bet he's hit her before and probably after. But I'm not going to sit here and say we should punish him for shit that we think happened. Here's what we have.
We've already moved beyond the punishment. We already said what a good punishment was for him, and you guys agreed with me, and I agreed with you guys, like up to a year or 8 games. That's a cool punishment. Of course, I'm not saying that he's not wrong. Let me say this over and over and over again, because obviously you guys keep overlooking this one thing that I'm saying.
You make it hard because
yes, he is wrong. Yes, he is wrong.
It's a hard position to defend.
It is morally deplorable. It is morally deplorable to hit a woman. Yes, it is.
Yet.
But it is also illegal to hit anyone at all.
And this is what I don't think you see in your argument. When you say, no, calm down, man. No, we feel you.
I'm listening. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I don't think what you're realizing is you're doing this. You're going, what he did was terrible. What he did was the worst. But, guys, take it easy. It might have been one time. It's not that serious. You're not flip-flopping your position. You're saying it's wrong. Actually, technically, you're kind of flip-flopping your position when you defend him. But I'm just saying that's what I perceive. I know that's not what you mean. That's just what I perceive. But anyway, let me answer your question like the one you said earlier. You said, how do you prove that you're not a serial, goddamn, what is that? You're not a serial wife beater. Unfortunately, Mr. Calhoun, this is where he put himself in that predicament. That is not my concern. My concern is he hit a woman. He didn't just hit her a little bit. He hit her hard. He didn't just hit her passively. There was intent. I watched the video. You're not going to tell me that guy did not mean to really hurt her. So at this point, whether he proves it to me or not that he's been a serial beater, Does not matter. In my book, he's a wife beater. End of story. You only got to kill one person, whether it's by accident or not, to be a killer. Only one person.
You only got to slap one dick to be a faggot. You know?
Exactly. Just one. Just one. And I get your point. I get your point.
No.
It's
You
not
still didn't
fair
answer
to
my
the
question,
man.
though.
It's
You
not
didn't
fair.
answer my question, though. That's what gets me riled up, is that you're not answering my question.
I'm answering your question. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the audience. That is his job. That is his job. His job is to prove us wrong, because my automatic conclusion is he's gonna lie to me. He's gonna lie to me to get the softest sentence he can. So my automatic conclusion is the worst case scenario. He's been beating his wife since she was a teenager, as far as I'm concerned. So when you say how is he supposed to prove, that's his job. Because I am fully ready for him to come at me with some bullshit. Please at least say you see where I'm coming from with this.
How long
I
were they
see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from, that yes, in public opinion, pretty much what you're saying is that in public opinion, you're guilty until proven innocent. That's what you're saying.
In a situation where the video is available and you're guilty, yes. If this was one of those things, like I was on your side of the fence. I was on your side of the fence before I saw what was in the elevator. Because before I saw what was in the elevator, did we all know what probably happened in there? Yeah, but there was no 100% proof. And until there's that, I'm your homie, dog. I'll defend him, because this could be the one innocent guy. I'll root for the underdog in that scenario. The second that elevator video came out, he's guilty.
Let me ask you, what was my side of the fence? Because last week when y'all was on the show, you clearly didn't get my point right. So what was my side of the fence? What was my side of the fence in your mind?
As far as I can tell, and please correct me if I'm wrong. As far as I can tell, your side of the fence is this. This man did something terrible. This man did something deplorable. But let's let all the facts align themselves and give him the proper punishment. / he'd already been punished. Double jeopardy kind of sucks. Am I wrong?
No.
They correct? Because that's what I got out of it.
I'm not worried about double jeopardy. I didn't worry about double jeopardy. As far as I was concerned, I was like, okay, let him have his indefinite suspension. It's going to have to be lifted eventually. No, I was never advocating for a lower sentence or a lighter sentence for Ray Rice.
So I'm wrong on that part.
I was like, Ray Rice needs to be punished. Sure. What he did was deplorable. Sure. He needs to be punished for it. Okay. But what I was saying was that, now this is what I was saying to Alan last week. I was saying that for every action, there is a reaction. What Alan was saying was that Ray Rice didn't need a reason to hit his wife.
Oh, no.
Ray Rice was just a straight-up wife beater.
No, that's never.
I don't know if I caught that.
What I said was.
That's not what he said on the video. That's what he said in the comments. He didn't say that word for word verbatim, no. But the whole guise of what he was saying, that's what he was saying.
All right, go ahead. Enlighten us, Alone in the Dark. Was that you?
No,
Were you the wife beating accuser?
What I put was, whatever his reason was, does not change it, does not make it any better if he had no reason. If he had no reason to just punch her out, it's this much terrible, okay? If he had a reason like, hey, but she fucked with me in the casino, so I'm going to spit in her face and knock her unconscious, it is equally as bad. I'm sure that there was some reason. They were obviously arguing as they walked into the fucking elevator. There was obviously an altercation beforehand. What my whole point was, that whole reasoning doesn't fucking matter, and it's the same fucking scenario as if he just punched her the fuck unconscious with no fucking provocation at all.
No. Because where does it say that for every action there is a reaction unless it happened 10 weeks later, unless it happened 5 years later? Where does it say that? It doesn't say that at all.
But I'm a little confused. What are you trying to say? That the reaction happens later, or and who's reacting? Is it the people or the guy?
From the explanation that Alan just gave, He was saying that it doesn't matter if it happened a day later, a week later, or 5 months later.
The punch, right?
What he did, no matter what he did, no matter when he did it, was wrong. And yes, I'm saying I agreed with him plenty of times over. You yourself, Dave, told him that yes, I agreed with him over and over again. But the thing is that Allen kept overlooking my point, and when somebody overlooks my point, I get pissed.
That's
no matter what, for every action there is a reaction.
Now,
I've never heard the term that for every action there is a reaction unless it happens years later, unless it happens months later.
So
if it happens, it's going to have a reaction to it.
Let me get one thing clear. So and no, we all got the point straightened out now. But let me get one thing clear.
Doesn't get the point.
No, he gets the point. Well, now you're assuming he gets the point, man.
It's just still a terrible fucking point.
Here's the and actually, that's what I'm about to say. Hold on. I'm gonna repeat what you just said, Calhoun. This is what you just said. You said, yes, he was right. The actions were deplorable. But when someone overlooks your point, you get pissed. Correct? That's what you just said, right? Now, you do understand by saying that we're either assuming your points are both right or your point is wrong. One of the two, right?
Yeah, because Allen wouldn't give me the satisfaction of for every action there's a reaction, because he wasn't trying to. I don't know.
No. It's all good, man. The problem here is this. And I'm gonna try to see if I can make this as gingerly as possible. I think we all now fully get your point. I think so. I'm pretty certain I do. That's for sure. Does anybody disagree that they get his point?
Yeah, it's the same one I know he made at the beginning. It's just here. Before you go, Dave, here's my issue. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What we're saying is, let's say fucking Ray Rice hit his wife for absolutely no reason. Okay. It's this fucking bad, right? What the point is if you look at the whole story and what that happened before and the whole actions, what he did, what she did before, it is now this bad. I disagree with that.
I think I actually see hair growing on the top of his head from frustration.
That's my point is, if it happened right at the same exact time, whatever they're fucking arguing, I think the whole story that, I never really saw it from a non-biased source, but some people were saying that she was fucking hitting him in the middle of the casino, uninstigated or whatever, maybe something happened to her beforehand and now that was her reaction. If she hit him or whatever, was dragging him around by the beard, right, Dave, or some shit like that, and he immediately struck her back, then I would still think it's wrong, but I could see the point. Would you wait for what was it, a half hour later, an hour later, and hunt her down and spit in her face in an elevator and then knock her unconscious?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because for every action there's a reaction. That's what I'm talking about, Dave. He's saying, just because it was a half an hour later. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying that it's right. Again, I'm not saying that it's right. Again, I'm not saying that it's right. Again, I am not
got
saying
you. We got that part. We got that part.
No, Alan doesn't get the part if he keeps saying that I'm wrong. If he keeps overshadowing my point.
No,
that's what I'm trying to.
I think you're missing what he's saying. He's saying, and unfortunately, I have to side with Alone in the Dark on this one. His point he's saying that he keeps trying to get you to understand is, yes, he gets your point. Yes, he understands. You also denounce what Ray Rice did. That being said,
he never said he got my point.
No. He did.
That I got it.
I'm telling you, he did.
The
point he's getting at is he still finds your general explanation, like your general perception on the whole incident. Whether, because you're giving leeway to Rice. No matter how tiny it is, you're giving a leeway to Rice that he doesn't agree with. That leeway, that thing where have you noticed every time you've said you're wrong, like I think it was terrible, I think it was terrible, I think it was terrible. I don't know if you've noticed, but every time you've gotten to the but, I say it with you. And that's where he has a problem with it. There should be no but. The answer should be it was terrible. Period. But you
I just said that shit like 3 fucking times.
But you always end up with a but. You always ended with a but.
Because what I'm saying is that for every action, there's a reaction. All right. Okay, matter of fact, okay, listen. I think I might have caught it.
All right, let's see. Maybe we can untie this Gorgon knot.
Let's take the butt out. Maybe this might work.
All right, yeah. Try it without the butt.
All right. Alan.
This is romantic as fuck, yo.
Alan.
He's listening.
What Ray Rice did was deplorable. It was awful. It was the worst thing ever. He shouldn't have punched the shit out of his wife like he did. Every action causes a reaction, and what Ray Rice did was his reaction. It was deplorable. It was the worst. But it was the reaction.
Literally, the only thing you did was be quiet while you thought.
No, stop it! It's fine. Stop it. We have a solution, and we got to. He made the statement without a but, which was the requirement.
Hold on.
Therefore, we are good.
Hold on. Let me do this, okay? What Ray Rice did was awful. It was terrible, and I can't believe that should happen. I just don't agree with it at all. It was a reaction.
No, stop! Don't do this, man. We just finally got there. Come on, man. Move on. We're moving on.
That's what I just did. No, yo, seriously, come on now. I mean, like, this is
killing your kids is awful, and killing your kids and drowning them and blaming it on some random black person you just invented, that is terrible. But they didn't eat their vegetables that day. Now, I'm not saying that makes it better. I'm not saying that it makes her any less wrong. But shit,
Mr. Calhoun, I will have you disregard that last statement from the witness.
No, see, that's what really pisses me off about him, because we talking about hitting, and then he'll take that shit and say, oh, if I was to kill somebody, it would be justified if somebody did something earlier to me.
Did not just say that last statement was stricken from the record, man.
I said it was terrible. I said killing your kids was terrible. But there was those vegetables left in those plates.
Could you shut up, please? Listen, Mr. Calhoun, you have successfully made the sentence without a but.
I'm fucking done, y'all.
Yeah, he's just trying to egg you on at this point, and you're falling for it. He's just trying to get your goat. Let it go. Anyway.
I let it go. I'm fucking done. Like, when I say that I'm fucking done, don't look for me next week.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Because he trying to make me look like a fucking asshole.
But the whole point of the show is there to disagree, man. You know that. That's the point. This is the best part of the show. All right, so let's talk about something that's not controversial. Hitting your kids, for or against?
we talked about it a little earlier. You missed that part of the show, man.
Yeah, I forgot I'm not the host this week.
And cauliflowers.
All right, so oh, Jesus, man. You might have just made me lose a friend, man. Why'd you do that? Anyway. So you gonna throw out these parting shots or what?
Yeah. Anybody got any? Hey, slow chemical. What's your view on all this, man?
Stop it! No, we're done. Come on, man. Come on.
Actually, the funny thing is,
if we're being completely honest about it, I actually agree with Andrew. I
Oh,
get what you're saying, Alan, but I actually agree with Andrew. At the end of the day, no matter if it's wrong or right, every action has a reaction. So if I spit in your face today, right, Alan, you might wait to punch me in the face later when I'm not expecting it. It just is what it is. Not saying it's wrong, not saying it's right. Some people are just like that. They're very spiteful people. It is what I actually agree with them. The whole time I was sitting here laughing at you two, but I agree with Alan, with Andrew. I can't argue with that.
2 for 2.
Damn.
Deck is stacked. You cool now, boss? You okay, man?
No, both of y'all are wrong.
I'm fucking done, yo.
He agrees. He agrees. You got one person that agree with you, man. Come on. We're set. We're straight at a tie. I agree with freaking Alone in the Dark. Freaking Slow Chemical agrees with you.
What
Fucking
about you?
Democrats versus Republicans.
But to make me look like I condone domestic violence or killing just because it's a reaction to something, I'm fucking done. No, I can't let that shit slide.
You have made, if there's one thing you have made amply clear, so clear that I'm not even gonna fuck it up right now. You have made it clear that you absolutely abhor what Ray Rice did.
Oh yeah, hey, why don't we end the show this week? Maybe everybody needs to cool off. Y'all just need to end the show this week.
Yeah. As long as Mr. Calhoun promises he'll be back next week so we can see his pretty face.
Man, you can't promise anything. He heated right now.
Yeah, he is heated. He's on that Baltimore heat right now.
What do you think there, Puppet Master? Be our tiebreaker, man. What's going on? What's going on in your head, man?
What, are we talking about the same subject, or do I gotta change the subject?
We're talking about the Ray Rice incident.
Alright, check it out. By the understanding that there's an action and equal reaction, you're saying that, and I know that this is not what you're saying, but this is the way it comes across, is that every bitch deserves to get hit when she gets hit.
No.
No, hold on.
I was like, oh, don't say that, because that's not what he's saying at all. That's not what he's saying at all.
I just said that. I know that's not what he's saying, but that's the way it comes across. Now understand this. The only thing that was an action that got a reaction, the action was he hit the bitch. The reaction was she got knocked the fuck out. Alright? Whatever she did before that means nothing. Nothing at all. The difference between a man who beats his wife once and a habitual wife beater is that nothing. They beat their fucking wife.
Look. It's a delicate topic, man. It's a delicate topic. Not as far as the action. The action is clearly we're all on the same side of the fence on the action. It's the perception of because here's what I can get from Calhoun. Here's where I absolutely side with Calhoun on the other side of the butt. Here's why I side with Calhoun. The last thing I would want is to condone the notion that broads can get comfortable with the idea of instigating getting hit.
Oh.
I understand that, but you got to think of it like this. Maybe he was the initial action, and maybe he wasn't the reaction.
Yeah.
All right? They shouldn't get away with being comfortable with the idea of I can instigate shit, not get knocked the fuck out. However,
and that's why I'm on. That's why.
The idea that I can knock somebody out and say it was that bitch's fault, she deserved it.
But he's not. As per the reaction of the public, as per the reaction of the NFL, it's pretty clear that that's not even close to happening. I think the only thing we kind of have a problem with the LFL with is how slow all of this came about going and all of that. But eventually the right thing was done, yada, yada, yada. But
Hey, Jonathan Nestor,
yeah?
you're trying hard to keep your friend, aren't you?
I sure the hell am, man. Look at his face right now, yo. I mean, listen, I've pissed that dude off many times, and I've seen him pout a few times.
Hey,
but that might be the hardest I've ever seen that pout, man. He's hard right now.
Is that a picture? Or is he still staring at the wall like
No,
that?
no, that's him. That's how serious he is. He looks like a portrait right now, yo. He's so physically stiff right now. Oh my God, man.
You know what, hey, but Jonathan, that's the smart thing you could have done 10 minutes ago when he said I was done was in the show. You're not helping him.
I'm not the host. I don't have the button for a change. I would have totally ended the show by then. You know me, man. How many times have I ended the show on a freaking cold conscience statement? That freaking Alone in the Dark is the one with the hand on the button right now. And therein lies the problem.
You guys gave me too much power, man.
Clearly.
All right, let's get some parting shots in, man.
Yeah,
Let's get some parting shots.
Please. It's not funny. It's not funny. We're serious. Parting shots.
Party shots, yeah. Come on. Puppet Master, you got something to say?
Hey, I'm gonna drink before every show because I love this shit.
Oh no! Oh man!
I had like
Yeah,
3 tall ass beers right before I walked up in here.
Jesus.
So, if you would like to be the host...
Oh, stop it! No. Next week, Mr. Calhoun will be back. If I can make it happen. If I can. Jesus.
If you're a pretty lady, send us your picture and some shit talking. We'll review and get right back to you, okay?
Jesus Christ.
What about you, Slow Chemical? You got something to say, man?
Y'all crazy, man.
Oh, that's
crazy.
nice.
Here's the funny thing about this. Y'all, check this out. Here's the funniest thing about this. This is the first show in a year where it's been a legitimate argument on Dare to Disagree.
I was trying to get him to understand that that's the point. An argument, some people are gonna win, some people are gonna lose, man. Just take the loss. It's not that
There is no winning and there is no losing. It's opinion.
Yeah, it's opinions, yeah.
Yeah, Dave, everybody gets a goddamn trophy nowadays, man.
Of course we had to have a Republican. I forgot about that shit.
What about you, JS? You got a party shop?
Man, Mr. Calhoun, you're a wonderful person. The Ravens won, the Orioles won. Shit is great, man. You know?
Browns won, goddammit.
Baltimore is doing better than it's ever done. Ray Rice and no Ray Rice.
All right. And all I'd like to say is, kids, please eat your vegetables.
Why, man? Why? My goodness.
Included them cauliflowers. All right, you better eat that shit down. All right? Take a little trip. But this has been most of Dare to Disagree. We will see you next week, same time, same place, and hopefully with everybody present again.
I wonder how Co-Conscience would have done today.
Oh, I don't know, man.
That might have been.
I'm pretty sure somehow he would have said something to lose the remaining women viewers we have.
I'll tell you what, though, bitches, man, they need slaps. You know, that kind of shit. That kind of shit.
By slaps, I mean high five.
Exactly. On the palm.
High fives that they catch with their face.
Oh, damn it. Damn it.
Anyways, Nation, you have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week, 7-ish Mountain Time.